Good morning, Nzansi Mind. If you find this video helpful, please take a look at our Facebook page, Patreon, Instagram, or our TikTok at Nzansi Minds to find even more helpful goodies. Okay, so it's a grade A, grade 12, so we're going to be having a look at English Home Language Paper 1. We're going to be breaking down Section B, which is our summary writing. We're going to be having a look at some basic guidelines for how to tackle the summary writing. The department's feedback for this section has been that summary writing has actually been improving year upon year. So they've been finding that Matric students have been really doing really well with this summary writing section. So that's a little bit of some positive news today. Okay, so when we're looking at section B, the summary, yours will look something like the one on the right here. And the topic is obviously not going to be the same every single year, so it is going to look different. Home language students, this is the up-to-date current instructions. Sometimes they do change year upon year, so you just make sure you read those instructions very carefully. Sometimes they change a few things, but first additional language students, I think your instructions will look a little bit different. I don't think it'll be a paragraph form. I think you guys have point form, if I remember correctly, for your summary. But yeah, we can have a look at that in another video if you'd like. Okay, so first things first, we need to highlight the instructions and read through them very carefully. So here it says, your summary should include 7 points and not exceed 90 words. This is something to be careful of. Don't just write 90 words at the bottom there. The examiners and the markers will, not the examiners, the markers will check your wording and they will count the wording. So don't just put 90 words there. They will see how many there are. Don't go over 90 words. So this works out to, okay, so if we say 70 words for 70 points, that'd be 10 words. It's about maybe 12, 13 words per point. Some points will be longer than others, some will be shorter. Number 2 says you must write a fluent paragraph. So your final draft of this, your final section of this needs to be in paragraph form, and you are not required to include a title for the summary. You can, if you want to. If you don't want to, it's fine. It's neither here nor there. Instruction 4 says indicate your word count at the end of your summary. Again, I said make sure it's an accurate word count at the end of your summary. Okay, so it says if you're going to be doing a rough work, some teachers advise not to do rough work. I prefer to do it if you're running short on time. Some teachers suggest skipping the rough work section. It's up to you and how you feel works best for you. But if you are going to do a rough draft or like a rough little bullet point form, you need to label it as such so that the person marking your exam paper knows that this is just a rough version. And then again, cross it out when you finish so that they know this is just your rough little version. And then if you're going to be doing a final draft, label it final draft. Okay, and very clearly. It needs to be a single paragraph when we are finished at the end of this. Okay, and add your correct word count, as I said. So draft for step 1, if you're going to be doing a draft, which I think you should. Okay, it says look at the title and you need a clear understanding of the topic that is being given, right? So like I said, every let me get my little pen out here. Every year there'll be a different topic, right? So don't just look here, don't just assume that's the topic under pressure, how stress can change our lives for the better. The topic that you need to look at here says summarize in your own words the beneficial impact of stress on individuals. So we're only going to look at the benefits of stress on individuals, right? Not the negative impacts, not any other extra information about stress, just the benefits of it, right? So the good things about being stressed, which sounds like an oxymoron, but anyways. Okay, so when we're looking at our draft, we're going to look at the title and we need to have a clear understanding of the topic given. Okay, so when we say title, we don't just mean this title over here. It is good to read and understand what the paragraph is about, I mean, what this little text is about, but that's not the main point of the summary. So the main point here is to find the benefits on the impact of stress on individuals. So look up here at the top to find your what you should be summarizing, or how you should be summarizing this text. Okay, and then it says read the text. So you just need to read it once, get a general understanding or general overview of what the text is about. It's always good to do that. And then underline or circle any important information in the text, or any important points that you think are important from the text, right? Again, looking at what they would like us to summarize. So stop, make sure, right, that we're only linking or underlining points that are linked to the topic. So here it says, again, the beneficial impacts of stress on individuals, making sure when we are doing our summary that it's not just about stress in general, that specifically it's about the beneficial impact of stress on individuals. Okay, so ask when we're underlining and finding the points to summarize, we need to ask ourselves, is this point showing the beneficial impact of the stress, or is this point highlighting the importance of vegetables in our diet, or is this point that I'm underlining or circling here, is this contributing directly to what we need to summarize, right? Okay, and then we can write our first draft. Okay, usually when we're doing summaries, we don't include this type of information. Any information that's in brackets or in parentheses, we don't want to include that information. That's usually extra information that's not really that important for our summary. Any adverbs, adjectives, or any figurative language, any flowery words that just add extra words to our word count that we just cannot afford. So we just want the basics of what we're looking for here. Lists of information, if maybe we have to find the benefits of vegetables in our diet, we don't want a big long list of all the vegetables, right? So that's not necessary. No statistics. 10% of people who eat vegetables, well, that's actually a bit of a tricky one now that I think about it, right? So to statistics, if they're asking you for maybe the benefits of eating vegetables, maybe you could list that vegetables prolong your life. Don't think you would usually add, you would improve your lifespan by 50%, but if it's that sort of a statistic, it might be able to be possible in our summaries. It really depends on what the summary is asking of you. It's debatable, all right. And then we have examples or explanations that just add in way too much extra details that we don't really need. And let's carry on with our vegetable example. If we're saying, okay, the benefits of eating vegetables, for example, eating broccoli can help your eyesight. Right, and it can help your eyesight, and your eyesight is very important for your brain function, and your brain function is very important for this. It's not information that just goes way too much into depth into everything. Again, this one's also a little bit debatable. Most teachers will say don't add anything in quotation marks. I would argue 99% of the time or 90% of the time it's true, but if there is something in quotations that is relevant or very beneficial to making your point or important for your summary, then one could argue that maybe we could use quotations, but it's a bit of a sticky one there. Okay, so let's have a look at something that we can practice with. And what I'm going to do is give you some time to pause the screen and to have a look at the summary. This is one that's come from a past paper, and it's about stress, carrying on from the theme about stress, the benefits of stress. So this is just a whole entire little article here, and what we need to do is think about, okay, what can we eliminate from this summary? We need to look at information that is not relevant, information that is not going to be helping us find the core of the summary that we need to make. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few seconds to pause these screens and have a look at them and maybe work them out on your own. If you are with Patreon, this worksheet will be available on our Patreon, as well as the answers for this, the in detailed answers for this summary. And once you're done with that, then we're going to have a look at how to finish our draft, right? Okay, so we've done our draft, we've practiced eliminating stuff and taking words out and just finding the core of what's important. Yeah, so some people like to look at the whole text and start crossing out things that they know are not relevant, and then working from there and then highlighting or underlining things that are important. It's great if you're not really sure how to tackle an article like this. Okay, so let's pause now. And then I'll let you pause on this one. And then I'll let you pause on this one. Okay, now that we're done with that, we're going to have a look at our final step. Okay, so all the points that we've identified in the article, we're going to use those underlined words to write out 7 points in our own words, going back to those instructions. This is very important. It needs to be in our own words, right? So this is some examples of what we could have underlined, and this is some ways that we could put it into our own words, some examples, right? So if we underlined your stress response is crucial to your survival, some things that you could say is good stress is vital for your continuity. So we're just giving like a synonym of survival, right? Good stress is critical for endurance. So we're just basically being little human thesauruses here and figuring out different synonyms for things, ways to put those words into our own words. This is a skill that can be learned. It's very tricky at first, but you'll eventually get the hang of it once you do some practice. Let's have a look at the second one here. It says, it is important for alertness. Stress is important for alertness. So what is important for alertness? Stress creates an awareness of challenges. Stress can increase vigilance. So awareness here of challenges, so that would be the portion talking about being alert and being awake. Stress can increase vigilance. Vigilance is kind of a synonym for being alert and vigilant and awake and lively and on the ball. Okay, so just I'll let you have a read through these on your own. If you'd like, you can pause the video as well. But yeah, so these are just 2 different ways of how you can put these words into your own words. But again, they do not have to be the exact same. The person who's marking your paper will be able to look at what you've said and see if it's, pertaining to the point that is on their marking sheet. Okay, so important, if you are doing a first draft, you need to cross out that draft. And when you're doing your paragraph, you need to make sure that you are using full sentences, no half sentences or short words or slang or little keywords or abbreviations. Use full sentences. And it's also good to use linking words to your points. So some of the points that I've read in the past can be very disjointed. If you just say the words, let's look, for example, stress is vital for your continuity. Stress creates an awareness of challenges. Stress allows an individual to adjust to change. Good stress enhances one's capacity to perform optimally. It sounds very robotic. So it's nice to add some extra words to that, right? So in addition to furthermore, also, equally, further, last, finally, as well. Some of those to join those sentences together quite nicely. You could say good stress is vital for your continuity. It also creates an awareness of challenges. Stress allows an individual to adjust to change. And finally, it is good stress enhances one capacity to perform optimally, right? So we're just making those points or those sentences not so, I don't know how else to explain it, but robotic. Okay, so you can have a look at this example here. Good stress, which is critical for endurance, creates an awareness of challenges. Or stress allows an individual to adjust to change and enhances one's capacity to perform optimally. As a result of all stress, individuals explore other challenges, which result in greater satisfaction. All stress also motivates the individual to pay attention to alternative solutions. Yeah, so here are some connecting words as a result of, and let me see if I can find some more. Ooh. Right, okay. So that is your final paragraph. This is what it should look like, and your word count should be at the bottom here. Remember, we want accurate word counts. Okay, and that is all. Thank you so much, Inzanti Minds. I hope you've had a very beneficial watch. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more helpful exam prep videos in the future. Thank you.